Welcome back for another stimulus update video, and today we'll be talking about the HEALS Act, comparing it with the CARES Act, reviewing who qualifies and for what, and also looking at the main reasons why this next stimulus plan is moving so slowly. So before I go any further, a very quick reminder: if you're new here and you're seeing me for the very first time, my name is Ian, and here on this channel I talk about ways to make money, save money, investing, banking, the stimulus, and all things personal finance related. So if these are topics that will interest you, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to this channel and turning on the notifications when you do so you can get the updates of when I post new videos here. And I post a new video here every single day on YouTube. And also guys, if you have any topics or just about anything that you guys would like me to make a video about or to address, just drop me a comment down below with it and I'll be sure to do so. The HEALS Act is the next stimulus package, which we expect to be passed sometime this week, and this is very, very exciting news. This stimulus plan offers less than the original CARES Act granted in March, or the first stimulus, but they also share a couple similarities, such as aiming to bring economic relief to Americans amid the coronavirus pandemic and an ongoing recession. In this video, I will quickly do a short review of what's included and also a short comparison of the HEALS Act to the CARES Act. Now, first and foremost, there will be a second payment of $1,200, and that's what's being proposed here in the HEALS Act. A renewal of enhanced unemployment benefits and a paycheck protection program to help keep people working are also expected to be a part of the final package as well, especially now since they have expired, and this coming week will be the first week without the additional money for a lot of families and people. Not everyone qualifies though, and even if you do, you may be getting way less money than what you were getting or what you got before. Now, one of the main reasons or one of the main problems why this new stimulus plan is taking so long is because of the Democrats not being very happy because of the reduction to unemployment aid and this $1 trillion price tag, which is less than half the amount that the Democrats have proposed. Now, to fully understand the HEALS Act, you first have to understand the CARES Act, which the HEALS Act is actually based on, to know what the HEALS Act offers, what it doesn't include, and who may qualify for a second stimulus payment, and also not everyone will qualify. So looking back at the first stimulus package, or the CARES Act, a one-time stimulus payment of $1,200 was issued to qualifying Americans, and the main qualifier was a person's income. So if you make under $75,000 a year, you would qualify for the one-time payment of $1,200 in full. If you're filing single, and if you're married, then it's $2,400 and you must earn less than $125,000 combined. If you earn slightly more than these figures, then you still get some of this money, but just not all of it. What they will do is reduce the stimulus payment by $5 for every $100 earned over $75,000 if you're single, or $125,000 if you're joint filing. So that's the first part. So if you received a stimulus check in the first round of the coronavirus relief, then it's safe to say you will be getting another round when and if this stimulus package is passed. Secondly, if you have kids or dependents, this time around you should also be receiving money for them. So in the CARES Act, or the first stimulus package, you would have received $500 per dependent as long as they're 16 years and under. I remember this making a lot of people unhappy, especially when they had, let's say, a 17-year-old child who was obviously still a dependent but wouldn't qualify for this payment. So in the HEALS Act, they've changed this, or the proposal is that you'll still get $500 per dependent, but there will be no age restrictions. So even if you have a 21-year-old who's in college and they're still a dependent, then you can actually get this additional money for them this time around. Now, just as before, the positives of this money is that, well, you get more money. And this money isn't taxable and there are no restrictions, so you can spend it on anything you please. The main idea here is that people will have more money to spend and stimulate the economy. At least that's what the plan was for the CARES Act, or the first stimulus plan. But right now, I think it's more of a survival thing because of all the jobs being lost, and that brings us to probably the most important part of the new stimulus plan in the HEALS Act, which is the unemployment benefits. So currently, or as of Friday evening, it's not current anymore, but in the previous plan, all Americans who filed for unemployment and were approved for it would be receiving an additional $600 per week on that unemployment payment. This has now ended. There is now a fight over what exactly this should be, which is causing a lot of delays. And the main reason for this, or the main reason for this rather, is because of some people who don't need the unemployment benefits were abusing the system. So for instance, there were people who were temporarily unemployed and they started receiving the unemployment benefits, and then they were able to get their jobs back, but they found out that with the state's unemployment plus the additional $600, they would be making the same or even more money by staying unemployed, and so that's what they did. The Democrats support an extension of the same amount, but the Republicans think it's too much and the amount needs to be reduced or lowered so as to not incentivize people to remain unemployed if they have the opportunities to actually go back to work. Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think should happen here. Should they actually just extend it at the same amount of $600 per week, or do you think the amount needs to be reduced to, let's say, $400? The Democrats are also proposing that the amount paid in unemployment to be no more than 70 to 75% of what a person's income was before they became unemployed. This is really taking up a lot of time, and I wouldn't be surprised if they gave a temporary extension while they try to come to some sort of agreement on this for the long run. The last thing we heard was that it could be $200 per week, then up to $500 per week in an effort to get it to 70 to 75% of a person's pre-unemployment income. We're also looking at another 6-month extension, so these benefits would be in effect until the end of December 2020. Now, we have the PPP, or Paycheck Protection Program. Initially, in the first stimulus, or the CARES Act, they allocated over $650 billion to this, and if you guys remember, this money dried up in about 2 to 3 days. The loans were forgivable, but many people who really needed it weren't able to secure one because of some of the requirements. And so this time around, some of the payroll requirements will be removed, so it's easier for businesses to get these forgivable loans. The only problem I see with this though is that they're only thinking about using $190 billion, down from $650 billion. And if you can do simple math, then you can tell that if the first one was out of funds in just a few days and it had tougher requirements, then getting this one may also be a challenge. Finally, there may be a back-to-work bonus payment where if you can find a job and get off unemployment, you'll actually be paid $450 per week extra to do so. There is still room for change here, and they're meeting again today, but I think since they will be taking a break in just a couple days from now, we should be seeing a new stimulus plan coming this week. So just to recap, the CARES Act was $2.2 trillion and the HEALS Act is only $1 trillion. The one-time stimulus checks would be the same as the first ones, and this time around there will be no age restrictions on dependents for an additional $500 for them each. Unemployment benefits will be extended, but by how much, we aren't sure as yet, and the PPP program will also be renewed. There could also be a back-to-work bonus payment for individuals on employment if they can find employment. I hope you guys liked the information in this video, and if you'd like to see more videos just like this one, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can see new videos that I post, and I post videos here every single day on YouTube. If you've made it to the end of this video, comment your thoughts down below and any questions you may have, and be sure to drop a like on this video as it really helps to get this video out to more viewers, and I'll really appreciate it. Also guys, I've left a couple of links down below to free stuff and free cashback offers, so be sure to check the links down below in the description for all kinds of free stuff. If you're a new subscriber or viewer here on the channel, be sure to check out some of my other videos on high-yield savings accounts, checking accounts, investments, credit cards, and ways to make money. Also guys, be sure to check out Webull, which is a free and easy-to-use investment app or platform, and by signing up using the link down below in the description, you'll get 2 free stocks that can be valued at over $1,000 after you deposit just $100 in your investment account. If you like the stocks, you keep them. If you don't like them, you sell them and you purchase other stocks that you'd prefer to invest in, or you just keep the money. Once again guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.